You're watching KMAC Red Raider Nation's Countdown to Kickoff.
Welcome back to Countdown. We're going to take this moment to look behind enemy lines with a closer look at Murray State. Joining us now is play-by-play voice for the Racers, Neil Bradley. Neil, the Racers ended last season on a hot streak. They won 3 in a row. What are the overall improvements you've seen this team take in the last few years?
But the improvements I've seen under Coach Hood defensively, right off the bat, this is a team that's much more sound defensively. The size has improved. He's getting bigger players up along the line. And to win at the FCS level, you got to have guys who can block and who can tackle and set up tackles up front. Those are the things that I've really seen. Much more fundamentally sound, great at running the football at the FCS level, and also a tremendous improvement defensively. This is a team that they don't commit many penalties. They don't turn it over very often. Just a very sound, old-school, fundamental football team under Coach Hood.
And now you just mentioned the Racers are great at running the football. Who are a couple of Racers that make that offense go and Tech fans should keep an eye on?
And had a really good redshirt freshman quarterback in DJ Williams, who had a fantastic year. So they can throw it. He has good arm, moves well out of the pocket, but they rely on the running game and setting up the runs. But really terrific running back in Devontae Witherspoon. He was part of one freshman All-American team. He was one of 4 players that made a freshman All-America team on the squad.
And now last year, Murray State played Cincinnati very tough. And then a couple of years ago, y'all gave Georgia some fits early. Is there a different level of excitement within this team when you guys play a school at the FBS level? Yeah,
the guys are excited. There's always a few of those that, you know, they have kind of a burr under the saddle that they feel they may have been passed over to play at the next level. But also it's exciting to go into stadiums such as that, to Georgia. I mean, looking forward to Texas Tech and going there. I mean, to play football in Texas, that to me just quite an honor there to go there where football is definitely king.
And with all those improvements and promising pieces that are put in place, what are your expectations of Murray State in 2022?
If the Racers have a winning or 500 record somewhere around there, they will have a chance to win the Ohio Valley Conference Championship, but they're going to know right out of the gate. It's a team that I feel has a lot of talent, but what I don't know if they can handle, if they do get off to the bad start with that really difficult slate, can they keep that mentality that, hey, we're good enough to win, put the losses behind themselves if they do happen? That is going to be a big question mark. However, as I said, if they do win those games, I think it's a team that has the talent to win the Ohio Valley Conference Championship, but it will be a tall hurdle.
All right, Neil, thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck to Murray State on Saturday night.
You can just tell Neil's seen a lot of Racers games in his time, Stan. But if there's a game in particular that's caught the eyes of the Red Raiders coaching staff, it's the game they played in last year against Cincinnati. Murray State came out of the gates scorching hot in that game. They even scored first on the future college football playoff team. This team can't be counted out so easily. Look what happened last night with Virginia Tech and Old Dominion. Doesn't matter if it's a pay-for-play game. Doesn't matter if it's a first-year head coach. Anything can happen in week 1. And offensive coordinator Zach Kitley and defensive coordinator Tim DeRuiter made it clear that they know exactly what this team's capable of.
Yeah, you know, I think Coach probably hit on it too. You know, their head coach, Coach Hood, he's got a defensive background. And when you watch them play, you know, they're very sound. You know, not a lot of penalties, not a lot of MAs. They kind of are who they are, but they line up and they play very, very hard. You know, they kind of have the MO kind of that we do, that we're trying to get here at Texas Tech, that we're going to play harder than you every snap. Those guys have that.
This is a very capable team. They've got most of their players back. And so it's going to be a veteran group that's going to play here with a lot of confidence and not be intimidated, I don't believe. And so our guys, you know, need to know they're going to be up for a challenge, and we've got to meet that challenge. And while we've got a lot of respect for them, it doesn't matter who we play. You know, we have to play to our standard.
Now let's go to the opposing sideline. That's Racers head coach Dean Hood. He's going to enter his 3rd season with Murray State. As we mentioned earlier, he helped guide this team through a brutal calendar year where they played 18 games in 2021 due to the pandemic and still came out on the other side with a winning record. Now he leads this team into a season where they could make some noise in the one and only Ohio Valley Conference.
Yeah, it's a thing you're watching 3 different teams on film, where the offensive coordinator came from, where the defensive coordinator came from, where the special teams coordinator came from. We think we're getting a little bit of an idea of what they're going to be structurally. They're the total package. Coach McGuire's put together a heck of a staff. You look at his resume. I mean, you're winning in Texas high school football at a high level at a big-time school. That's just like being a college football coach. All the way across the board, all the coordinators, the head coach, and then just their team skill level-wise, and big and physical and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a heck of a challenge.
Now, Mason, this team does actually have a couple of Texans on their roster, so you know that they are going to play lights out or the best they can when they come back to their home state.
We know how good Texas football is, man, especially Joey McGuire. I mean, considering his track record in the high schools around this state, he knows exactly what he's getting himself into today.
I would consider him an expert. Now, here is your Saturday slate right here on KMAC. At 11, Jim Harbaugh and the number 8 Michigan Wolverines host Colorado State on their home opener. Following that game, the defending national champions, number 3 team in the land, Georgia Bulldogs, take on number 11 Oregon. That's actually at the Falcon Stadium. Then the nightcap will pit number 2 Ohio State and number 5 Notre Dame. That'll be at 6:30 in the Shoe. Time for a break, but up next, Mason and I will be playing some board games. We take a look at some key stats that could help decide the game.
And later on, we'll let you know what to watch for in the Red Raiders season opener. Countdown to Kickoff returns right after this break.